Okay, I want to tell a story. I've told this one before, but this fits really good with this title. It demonstrates it. There was a woman, she was jogging, and then all of a sudden a guy tackled her and got her onto the ground, and he was going to try to rape her. And then at first, there was fear, and that made the guy, she could see the guy, like, it activated him, right? Because law of dynamics, somehow he's the predator. He sees the victim. He gets that energy, that fear. They live off that. That's what gets them going, right? They have a corrupted CPU basically. So this was happening, but he was overpowering her. She couldn't. He didn't get very far, by the way, but she realized, like, intuitively in the moment, that she couldn't do nothing about it. I mean, it's just, he was going to do what he was going to do, and so then something in her surrendered. She didn't try to surrender. She didn't say, "Man, this is maybe I should surrender and then I'll get hurt less." No, it was Grace did something. Something inside, just, she surrendered. In that surrender, she looked at him when he was on top of her and trying to go to the next stage. She's going to try to get her undressed, but she looked at him, and she was in a state of, you can say, total paradoxical acceptance and surrender. In that state of beingness, now you see the power of being. It like hit him, some kind of matrix stuff, right? It like hit him, and he got up and he ran away. That's what she said. She said since that day, she understood what surrender is. The surrender principle was alive in her. Now, what does she go on every day, 24 hours in that state, in that total surrender state? No, I mean, that's like not practical. It's not realistic. But she knows what surrender is now. See, once you know what surrender is, it doesn't have to happen in that way. But once, for whatever karmic reason, we can't figure this out, once something inside you knows what it's like to give up this the whole human self, all its projections and ideas, and yeah, I got to take care of myself, and I got to protect myself, and oh no, the world's going to get me, and I got to take certain measures to stay protected, and everything depends on me. The whole idea of self-will, basically. Once somebody knows what that feels like, to let that go, not totally. See, the mind only understands black and white. There's no more self. This is the non-dual extreme. There's no, like, I don't even know, like, who's saying what here. No, it's not like that. The individual sense of a self carries on, but it's more in the background now, or at least it jumps in the background more often. Sometimes it's in the foreground, like, we don't know. There's no standard. You can't, like, break out your measuring stick and say, okay, what percent of my individual self is in the background? Yeah, I'm enlightened now. No. But there's been a switch. There's been a changeover. Once that activates in somebody, you're not the same anymore. Now, it doesn't have to be some drastic melodramatic thing. Now you have to do a bunch of theatrics to demonstrate that now I'm awake, and then, all that stuff. No, it can be very private and intimate. And you may not want to tell anybody. Some people don't even know it happened. It's so organic and natural. That's the thing. When something's organic and natural, you don't broadcast it over the internet and try to tell everybody how awake you are. And you don't remember the date and time in 1992 at 4:14 a.m. I became awake. If something's supernatural and organic, you may not even know it happened. Whether you know it happened or didn't know it happened, it's irrelevant. What is important, though, is something happened, and there was a happening that took place. And if it was an authentic happening, you didn't do it. You know that for sure. You know that for sure. You didn't, like, if somebody asks you, how do you do it? You don't say, like, okay, look, check it. You you got to get in your meditation posture and do your Jim mudra, and then you watch your breath, okay? And if you do that for 40 minutes solid, morning and evening, but on Saturday you got to do it for 6 hours. And if you do that, I did it for 7.5 weeks, and then it happened. No, you don't know. You don't know. It could happen in spite of your spiritual practice. Your spiritual practice could have something to do with it somehow, in some way, but you don't care. All that matters is happening. There's been a happening. That's what surrender is. This question is, you can contemplate this. Let go. I just kept letting go. I let go so completely that I even let go of letting go. Because in true being, when you're truly being means there's no technique or there's nobody there doing something to try to get something. You see, you let go of the one that's trying to let go. It's just, there's like, you don't even call it, you don't even know that you let go. Beingness doesn't know anything about like letting go. It's not trying to let go. It's the individual sense of self in this dream called evolutionary journey, which you can't escape. That talks about letting go, and that has practical. It's practical to do that too. You see, you can't just say, "Oh, now I got it." There's nobody to let go. And anytime I'm letting go, or I feel like I'm trying to let go, that's not good, because that means it's the false self trying to let go. This is how non-duality's corrupted a lot of people's mind, because the intellect takes that and then tries to apply it according to what it thinks it means. And it just looks funny, you know. Those of you who are more seasoned, who've already been through those stages, or if this message resonates with you and there's some natural intelligence in you, then you could intuit this anyway, and you don't need to play that role for, you know, God knows how long. So how is it helpful then? Okay, Yash, you're saying like this nice state of beingness, I can't get to it. And there's a very strong sense of the one that's trying to do that because it wants peace, but yet you're saying you can't do it. Are you saying that spiritual practice is also irrelevant? And so like I can't do anything? Like I don't want to pretend like I'm already there, because you said it's good to feel organic, and I agree. Like, yeah, it should be organic. So what do we do? Yeah, that's the mind asking. So what do we do? It's not about what we do. It's about, and this is what I try to convey in the groups that we do, the satsang. It's not about coming to try to figure out the magic formula and technique on how to achieve some higher state of spiritual evolution. Like, okay, I just need to hear the instructions. No. What happens when we have an authentic satsang, which means a conversation, a pointing to truth. The Bible says it in another way: when two or more gather in God's name, you're going to find some power. That's where it's at. That's the purpose. That's the purpose of sharing this message and having groups. And also my books, other books, is I'm trying to remember to announce two things: that we do satsang groups, and I have some books out for those who want to check those out. It's on my website. Both of those things are on my website. Autobiography book, Preserving Your Sexual Energy book. That book's probably doing the best. And then psychedelic plant medicine book. The energy in the words of the books, or in the energy in the words of when somebody's sharing, there's energy there. This is it does something if one's open and humble and is able to receive. It's not just about getting. I want to get the technique. Give me the technique. No, there has to be some humility and some subtle reception to receive the current that is hiding in the container of so-called truth, via words, via books, via anything. Everything's a satsang on a certain level. Just depends. Do we have the eyes to see it, and the mind to perceive it, and you know. So it's the energy and frequency when we hear truth that can start this process of this happening that I'm talking about, that can happen anytime and we don't know when it's going to happen. This surrender, this changing over of self-will to like, whoa, the universe is playing as me and through me. That.